Welcome to Alwayz Gamez TV podcast. It is the 19th of June 2013. This is going to be the first podcast, hopefully, of many. It's going to be a trial and error situation, so hopefully it will work out all right, and we'll be back for more. I'm Roger Knowles, and I'll be your host today. Alongside me is Tom Simpson, aka the Beaver, apparently. Do you want to say hello, Tom?
Hello.
Nice one. And also got Daniel Twist with us.
Hey.
And Jamie Whitehouse.
Hello.
And basically we're going to be covering hopefully as much as what was in E3, but we don't really plan to be here for about 3 hours, so we're going to probably miss quite a bit. But first off, we'll just go around and explain what each of us have actually in our homes. I'll go with that. I've got the PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC sort of gaming rig, I guess. It's not overly powerful, but it does the job. Tom, what do you have?
A gaming rig and a 360.
360. Tom, Dan?
Same, Xbox 360 and a start of a gaming rig. PC.
Jamie? Please say PS3.
An Xbox 360, and a not very good computer that I sometimes play games from.
I'm feeling a smidge outnumbered on the Sony front, but hey, we can do this.
Pretty much.
So, in respect of actually how much time you do your gaming, what do you find that you spend more time on? Do you head towards more the Xbox or the PC? Go on, Tom, you go first. Go for it.
Used to be a big Xbox gamer, but I've kind of given up on it. Now just mainly PC.
Mainly PC. What made you head towards more the PC sort of section?
Well, if you get a decent PC, it's got better graphics, there's modability, and it opens up a lot more options, really.
No, that's
Take
fair
armor, for example.
Are you guys the same with that one then? Are you two as well very much on that sort of
pretty
similar
much with PCs. Yeah, pretty much with saying what Tom was mentioning with, big Xbox gamer, then suddenly ended up going with PC. So then there's some good games coming out of PC, mod capabilities, everything's still going. So pretty much same.
Yeah.
I'm
exactly the same. Apart from
we'll be continuing with Microsoft though, so Xbox One.
I'm sure we'll be getting into that one at some point.
Eventually.
How about yourself, Jamie?
I used to be a big Xbox gamer, and then I ran out of live, and I couldn't be bothered paying anymore, so moved to computer, and I still play a bit of offline FIFA, unpopular opinion, but yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing.
FIFA's still in the top 10 charts, so that's not overly unpopular.
It is, especially with
amongst you three.
Well, I was going to say EA's releasing their new FIFA out there for Xbox One, so that's going to be a big hit, I reckon.
Well, this is the annual moment of release of EA sports games, so it'll be the sudden influx of more, and hopefully hogging the charts as always. Similar for myself, really. I kind of went on the PS3 front for a long time. PS2, then PS3, and kind of stuck with that. And then I went for an Xbox 360 because I got sucked in by the Kinect. And then it started doing what everybody's Wii board started doing, was basically start gathering dust. And I think I've been on it about 4 times since buying it.
That's what mine's currently doing down in corner. Mm-hmm. My Kinect's gathering dust.
But yeah, so I had that, and then I decided to spoil myself on a decent-ish computer and started developing discovering Steam quite late on and realising how much money I could actually spend on it. And then got sucked into Armour with kind of Daisy with you guys really on that one, except for you, Dan, of course. But
yeah,
odd one out. But yeah, so then I kind of went on from there, and I have been drifting back to the PS3 on occasions, but it has to be particular games such as the Last of Us recently. But other than that, it's pretty much the same as you guys, really. Just find that the PC is more powerful and more adaptable to what I want to play as, really. But yeah, so cool. What have you been up to anyway? What have you guys been playing this week? Silence, great. That's good. Nothing.
Since no one's starting, why don't I start off with the typical, which I play most of the time, is League of Legends. The typical game, which obviously huge community have got through from since launch. So the way they work is pretty awesome because their community is just brilliant.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I've never actually dabbled with League of Legends at all. I've never even, I can't even say I've even tried it. Give me, if someone like myself who has actually not even touched it, give me a bit of a rundown of it. What's it about basically?
Right. The way you'd say, do you understand what the definition of a MOBA is?
Nope.
MOBA is short for Massive Online Battle Arena.
Okay.
So if you played games like HON, which I'm trying to think of what it stands for again. Can't remember what the hell it is again. If you played Dota or Dota 2, they're pretty much the same. Then League of Legends is MOBA. So basically you've got team of 5v5, and basically split into 3 lanes, and you go down each lane, push turrets to get to the enemy's base and destroy the nexus. You've got a variety of champs from attack damage, ability powers, melee range, tanks, support characters. You each kind of have like each role going, so you create the good team of tank, DPS, support.
It's almost like
and that's
almost, is it like a defense tower game then? Is it a bit like that along those lines? You have to defend
not
them or
exactly.
push forward?
Yeah, but how that works is basically it's real time, and basically minion waves like spawn from your nexus and go down each lane, so top, bottom, and mid. So you've got like a wave of like 6 minions and a wave of 7 minions, which keep alternating like every 30 seconds along the lane, and they help you push your lanes and basically destroy your turrets and also defend your turrets at the same time while killing off the enemy champions.
My head hurts already.
Just
good
keep
thing
pushing
about
on, defending.
Go on, Tom.
The good thing about League of Legends is that it's free. There's
free to play.
There are microtransactions, but that's about it.
Yeah, your microtransactions to purchase riot points, which you can use to purchase champions, skins, IP boosts, XP boosts, or with champions you can actually keep playing and earn influence points, which is their like in-game money, which you gain per match, and you can just like save up IP to buy champions.
Yeah.
But that takes a long way to do. Instead of if you buy riot points, it's fairly cheap and easy to unlock champions.
With the free-to-play sort of setup it's got, how do you find that you spend quite a bit of obviously real money on it?
Me personally, yes, I've actually put quite a bit of money into it due to the fact that it's free to play. I've probably put £100 plus into it already, even though it's free to play, because like the new champions that get released, they always come with bundle packs with one skin, so they kind of make it cheap. So you get like your new champions always like something like 975 right points, and the skins could be varies from 560 to 970. So if you purchase the champion and the skin, you're looking about 1800 and odd points. Then if you do it in a bundle, it's like 1300. So you save a bit of money that way.
Maths hurts.
What does that equal to in pounds then?
If you buy like a bundle of about 1300 points, you're looking about I think it's about 18
get my calculator out. Hold on.
So.
So you can actually end up investing quite a large amount of money into the free-to-play sort of situation of it. So I guess that's probably why it's. But you don't have to spend this money though to be able to play it.
You don't have to. You have the option to do so.
All right. Oh, it's because it's one of those. It always seems to be. I noticed it's one of the most streamed games on Twitch. I always see it's always popping up all over the place. One of the
top games going, because they've had the events going recently. They've had the LCS EU, LCS North America, which is all the pros playing. So they're using proper gaming rigs in an actual studio with a lot of audience members watching, and they're just streaming it constantly, actual commentators, everything. So they're doing it proper out. So everything's professionally done.
Wow, I didn't realise.
So obviously then with the streaming, they get quite a lot of money from that.
I've got to admit, I'm not trying to derail you, but I mean, like, if like, because it's a free-to-play game, do you think you would have tried the League of Legends or actually played as much of it if it wasn't a free-to-play format?
Probably, 'cause it's kind of like a new genre of gaming, really. So it'd be of interest to play. So as long as it wasn't like too expensive, I would have bought the game. But obviously, we've not known what kind of game style it plays, then obviously it could have been a waste of investment or a good investment.
And do you find it, with it being the free-to-play sort of thing, it was certainly an incentive for you to be able to give it a go?
Yeah, because obviously if it's free to play, you're not going to lose anything. So all you do is you create your account and where you go. If you don't like it, you don't have to play again.
Yeah. So
free to play is good incentive to get new players in, because obviously you don't have to pay to get the game. Free download. If you don't like it, uninstall and never touch it again.
Well, certainly.
Can I just ask?
Go for it.
I was going to say, have they brought any news out about that on E3? Any,
I don't remember seeing any League of Legends. It probably was. I got to admit, I may have skipped over it.
I don't think so.
I may have skipped over it.
Not too sure, really.
I got to admit, I've seen some
anything.
images of League of Legends, and it just confuses the hell out of me. I'm just like, it's like me trying to watch a rugby match. I'm just like, he's trying to go that way. Why did that man hurt him? But yeah, it's just confusing.
At the start, bit like, because obviously Tom has played it. So when he first started, he was like, "What the hell am I supposed to be doing?" Then obviously I had to like teach him what to do, because obviously when you first start, you don't know the basics of the game. They have tutorials which give you basic and advanced tutorials of it. So it gives you just of the shop, how minions work, your abilities, what the turrets are for, lanes wise, and what the objective of the game is. So it gives you the run through of what you need to know for when you start doing PvP.
Well, that covers the League of Legends section of the Alwayz Gamez TV. I'm seriously, I'm still confused. But yeah, I've got to admit, it certainly has. You can tell by how many people are playing it and how active it is, how ridiculously popular of a game and the setup that they've got, and it obviously works. Otherwise, people wouldn't do it. But right, we'll quickly move on.
Yeah, I saw a post that Riot posted on Twitter. They actually posted an article about how I think it was Telegraph or Guardian, about Riot and how their way of getting more gamers to come join, because obviously it's free to play and basically so the community's great, and that way of Tribunal for banning, the way of microtransactions to buy champions, which is their only way of investments to game. So
yeah, I guess if it's going to be
if
there's a market for buying on the game, they're going to want to make it there's no hacking. If it is a competitive game, such as obviously like saying going into big tournaments and things like that, they're going to want to really be jumping on that as quickly as possible. But anyway, sorry to cut off Dan, but Tom, what have you been up to this week playing and within your gaming?
Sorry, me.
Yeah, sorry, Tom. Yeah, you.
Yes, Tom. Away you go.
Your moment. Go, Tom. Go.
I've been playing. Well, Armour 2, Armour 3, Saints Row 3. Don't think I've been on Minecraft this week. As a surprise.
Can't say I have either.
Just been messing around with a couple of new mods for Armour, really. New missions. And of course having a good old time on Saints Row. It's hilarious.
Hitting people with particular rubber objects, of course.
Oh yes, of course.
Big purpley things, yes. Anyway,
yes.
Saints Row will always be one of its own.
Because I think Armour 3 is probably one game. Because Armour 3 is probably a game which I need to try out.
Yeah, it's good to it. With it being, I think it's only £20 on Steam at this present moment, and I know it's only in alpha, but heading to beta soon. It's the amount of even what's already there, it seems to be a reasonable price, and knowing that there's more coming for £20, you can't really complain at this present moment. As much as it may want to blow my PC up every time I power it up, it seems to be it's good. But yeah, no, Jamie, what have you been up to anyway?
bit of Armour 2, Armour 3. Started a new manager mode on FIFA 13 as well, which I'm sure you'll all be very interested about.
Explain the game of football to me, Jamie. This offside rule, is it like, you know...
I don't... How is it played?
The guy dressed in black, what is his role? He never gets the ball. Ever.
I know, it's not very good. They don't tend to pass it to him very often. He always just gives it away. He's also got a whistle on him as well. I don't know. It's just blowing his whistle.
And don't you find him so
Every time he gets the ball in his possession,
and picks it up. It's like, no. I actually may not watch football, but that is not part of the rule.
Only the goalkeeper can do that, I think.
But no, pretty much myself, very much the same with Armour. Just been having to play around with that. I find it quite easy to chill out playing Armour, even though it is a military simulator. But no, this week I've been having a go at The Last of Us on the PS3, been blowing the dust off the old console and having a go on that, which I have to admit, I'll probably talk about it a bit later on, but it is absolutely amazing. Yeah. It is. I'm not going to spoil anything or anything like that. I think it's generally known. I don't think it's classed as a spoiler, but apparently in real life there's a plant which releases spores into the air, which will apparently ants breathe them in, something like that, and then the plant then starts to send the ant absolutely nuts and will make it climb up a tree, attach its tendrils and everything to the tree, and then it will die. And then the plant actually starts to grow out of the head of the ant, and then create another plant, and then releases spores again. Now I think they've gone along the idea of that it's sort of a organic material has been released into the atmosphere, and humans have started breathing it in, and it sends us all mutated and basically zombie-esque sort of style. But I won't really go into too much detail, but other than that, it's absolutely amazing. And the first 15 minutes are probably the best 15 minutes I've had in gaming for a long time. It's very, you get very invested with the character very quickly.
So that's new then.
Yeah, it's very good. You got to admit.
Because normally you don't get. I was going to say that's been a while then, because some latest games recently haven't really had like great starts. To know that a game out there which
a lot of the games seem to be going the Call of Duty sort of aspect, where they'll go in the multiplayer, but they won't go for the spend much time on the single player, and really won't do much with that. And so to say that a single player game has jumped straight to the top of the chart, it's very good. I've got to admit, Naughty Dog have really done well with this, and I think it's going to do well for quite a while. But yeah, pretty much that's about it. We'll jump into E3 next anyway, and discuss. And now Tom, I think, is really about to open his Jack Daniels up and start swigging away merrily. You're alright. You can't drink it if you wish. You're alright. But yeah,
cool.
When
Drink responsibly.
Of course. Make sure you
always use a straw.
As Tom passes out. One of the main, first conferences that were up at E3 was the Microsoft press conference. Admittedly, I didn't watch this live. I kind of watched a replay of it. I totally missed it. I don't really know. This would have been the sensible one to watch. Instead, I stayed up till the early hours of the morning watching the Sony one. So,
absolute shambles.
Well, yeah, we'll make our way through it, shall we? But yeah, so we're
starting off with Microsoft then.
Yeah, with the Microsoft conference. They actually opened up the conference with a 6-minute trailer from Konami of the Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain trailer. So the only thing is, it was great. It looked good, but the only problem was it's actually not Xbox One exclusive. So as much as it was a great trailer and a great game to start off with, it didn't show anything towards being just for Microsoft. Sorry, is that your sister by any chance?
Yes, it is. It's his sister.
Hi. For everybody who's listening, we're on webcam right now, and Tom's sister's now just popped her head in front of the camera.
Indeed.
Anyway.
Well, that's that then.
Yeah, so that's cool with that one.
See you later, guys.
See ya. So yeah, so that's totally sent me off on I'm trying to think what I was saying.
A little intermission right there.
So yeah, so Microsoft started off the conference with
E3
the
Microsoft.
Yeah, but I don't really know why they started with this. Mainly because you would think they would have started with an exclusive game that would have actually been a better start.
Yeah.
At least try and pull everyone in to say, "Oh, this is amazing." But yeah, anyway, so they started off with that, which what I got to admit, Kojima have really done very, very well with this game. I can't wait. I'm a big Metal Gear Solid fan, so I'm ready to do my pre-order right now. As soon as I saw this,
I've never been a fan of. I have played Metal Gear Solid, but I've never been a fan of following it.
What was Did you play the original one for the? Well, not the original one, but the Metal Gear Solid on the
back
PlayStation
on the PS1, yes. I played it back on PS1.
Yeah.
I've seen Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to. I had a bash on
bad.
Metal Gear Rising. It's not the same. I got to. I wasn't as impressed with it as what the other ones were, but it just seemed a bit over the top.
For what I saw of it, it's totally different to what I expect from a Metal Gear Solid game.
I got to, and then the next point of I got to. I'm just picking up some of the highlights of the Microsoft conference, but the next one which sort of jumped out at me, which looked quite immense, was Rise, the Son of Rome.
The new game from who is it?
I'm trying to think who's doing it now. I can't think who's created now. From Crytek, the ones who have created it. I got to admit, it looked good, but I'm not too sure about the combat. It looked a little bit of a push the button when you're ready sort of thing, like highlighted above everybody's head. As much as it did look very pretty, it looked gorgeous. Yeah, it was.
Sorry about that.
It was interesting. No worries, but it looked interesting, but it didn't pull me in. I don't know. I was a bit. I'd like to see it actually properly when it's released to give my final opinion on that one. And that's actually going to be an Xbox exclusive at launch as well. So it's going to be one of their launch titles. One of the other things that did show off was Forza 5. Have you guys played much of Forza?
Amazing for what they've done there. Yeah.
Any big,
I've played all Forzas from first one.
You've got.
I've got
nothing to do with Fallout.
I thought you had Forza then. No, not Fallout. Forza. Had cars.
Yeah, I've played all Forzas. Forza 1, 2, 3, 4, and Forza Horizon.
One of the best though, when I thought when they were on stage, was they were like, "There's only 2 cars. Oh, the particular car. There's only 2 in the world, and Forza 5 has a simulated version of it." And so then they brought on the car, one of the 2 cars that has only been made in the world. It was like, well, that's amazing, but can we just sort of see the game now? But admittedly, the car looked lovely. It looked amazing. I wasn't overly fussed about that. But the other thing that they're trying to implement into the Forza 5 is the new Drivatar system, which apparently, if you have no friends who are ever online, and hopefully some of your friends who are around have Forza 5 as well, it'll remember how they play and how they drive.
The way, as far as I'm aware, basically, if you're playing the game and then you go away from your Xbox, and then Forza 5, your drive time will kind of like pick up how you drive in the game. So then it picks up how you drive, then it will, like, as it does, will race any of your online friends, like ghosts, I think it is.
Yeah.
So it'll race your friends' ghosts, and obviously from that, when you go back on, it'll say your drive time has done this, this, and this, and you'll get gold.
So it's almost like
money for it.
A while you're not there sort of function for it to be driving.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it kind of remembers how you drive, then it'll race to how you drive.
But won't this like lead to an eventual situation where we just won't need to play driving games? Where we just go Xbox
basically,
on drive.
All you have to do is
I'll go get a cup of tea.
Drive. Just do like your best driving on the track, and it'll pick it up, and it's like just leave it, and you come back to it like
put it on
God
loop.
knows how much later. You've got £2 million. You've got £2 million. Like, I'm buying that.
I thought the system was a situation like, for example, if your friends weren't online, you could then race against their AI versions of themselves. So then you would create races. You wouldn't be going up against the actual game. It's an interesting system. I think they could do a lot with it, but again, it's that sort of situation. Is it just a gimmick, or will it actually kick off into something a lot more? But yeah. Oh, one most important thing with the Microsoft Xbox One, Minecraft will be coming to the Xbox One.
Yes. Yeah, it's not as an XBL this time, as an actual game release.
Oh, is it? All right. I was just more
Which is good. Yeah, because
really?
it's currently Minecraft at the moment is an XBLA, it's an Xbox Live Arcade at the moment, but it's very limited. So if they bring it out as an actual game, they might actually put everything that's currently out on the PC version. Because it's if you compare the Minecraft at the moment on Xbox Live Arcade to the PC, as vanilla, as far as I'm aware, PC outranks it by God knows how many patches.
Yeah.
Because the last I knew of the version of Minecraft on Xbox Live Arcade, you don't really have much.
There's not as much content on the actual sort of the Xbox version compared to the PC version. Right, I get it now, because I was just more confused. I was just like, they're going to show like the best of what Microsoft have got to offer at E3, and they show Minecraft. I was just a bit...
Yeah, I know.
Okay, this classified as the indie game section. But no, I got to... Oh, fair enough, actually. If that's the case, I was a bit confused by that, but no, thank you for that. But the other section which I was going to bring up was Dead Rising 2. Tom, go.
You mean 3?
3. Tom,
yes,
go.
Dead Rising 3.
At the moment, it's an Xbox One exclusive. It looks amazing, to be fair. The amount of new... because of up the system specs, obviously there's a lot more you can do with games. Better graphics, more AI, better physics, and a lot more going on in the world. And of course, you can have bigger worlds.
It seemed to be a lot darker, though. I got to admit, I remember back as the Dead Rising 1 and 2, it was quite colourful. Is probably the best way to describe it. And
it's not
very arcadey as well.
Yeah, not as cartoony. It's a lot more gritty, this one.
It looks like they're trying to go down the path of like The Walking Dead. Is that? Did you get that sort of feeling as well by looking at it? It just seems a lot darker. The bit that I thought didn't look like that balanced was the bit where you can call in airstrikes on your tablet. Yeah, Microsoft did seem to be pushing their tablet sort of system and their phone quite a bit in this conference. It did come up quite a few times. But the question is,
Battlefield 4, for instance.
Like the guy was there playing, and he was stood on a car, was he, or something? And he was surrounded by zombies. And then he put the controller down and then brought up his phone.
Yeah.
To then call an airstrike.
I called in an airstrike.
On himself, to clarify this well on the video.
Yeah.
He dropped it, which kind of ended the video rather sharply. But at what point? I always remember with Dead Rising there were that many
why the hell
zombies.
Would they do that?
That's what it was. Kind of a bit clunky system. Would you say? Well, say, Jimmy, you didn't see this, but would you could you imagine playing a game let's imagine playing DayZ, for example. Admittedly, the zombies outrunning the walking, with about 200 zombies around you. Stopping for a moment, bringing up your phone. Obviously, you're going to have to open up an app, and then launch an airstrike, which is kind of a cool sort of system that you're going to be doing something else. But do you think you could do that amongst all the zombies?
Saw the the video for the new Wii, or a few months ago, and it had the screen on the controller. I was like, why are they doing that? Why do you need a screen on your controller as well as on your TV? And it just seems like the same sort of thing, but even more far-fetched and even more awkward than the Wii system.
It's similar, like I say, you've mentioned with the Wii, but that works slightly different, really.
I know, but it just
I know,
that's
what I'm saying.
Companies are trying to add as many different sort of components and accessories and little gimmicks as possible. That there seem to be. I could imagine it if I was playing it, it'd pull me away from the actual aspect of the game of what it was about. A little bit, it'd be break my immersion almost. I'd be like, hold on a minute, I'm just gonna get my phone, and I don't know whether or not. I don't know. Maybe they might implement it in the game as the story goes along a little bit. It might seem to make sense. But as I was viewing it on the actual conference, it just seemed, again, like I said, very gimmicky. It didn't. I'd rather have just seen more footage of the actual game and what that was capable of doing, rather than seeing what the phone could do. But that was just myself anyway. Anyway, so on to the next bit. Battlefield 4 looks bloody amazing.
No.
That looks brilliant for what they showed at E3. Battlefield 4 is just gonna dominate. I reckon it's gonna be Call of Duty this time round with what they've done.
Thing is, that's what they said last time, and I thought it was a really good game last time, but it just didn't have sort of like the desirability of Call of Duty. I don't think. Like,
Well, for me, I'm more of a Battlefield fan.
I guess it will
Yeah, I mean,
really depend.
yeah,
I think there's
smooth.
still going to be a massive divide between the Call of Duty fans and the Battlefield fans. No matter what, there's always going to be that.
Definitely.
But I got to admit, it does look good on the Frostbite engine. It looks amazing. Like,
Frostbite.
I'm just
Frostbite,
plugging Frostbite as much as possible. They're getting
Yeah.
all the games on that, and I don't blame them either because it does
it's now
look good.
Frostbite 3 engine.
Frostbite 3, sorry.
It's now
Yeah.
Frostbite 3 engine, isn't it now?
Mhm.
So
So yeah, so
everyone's gonna be
the
using- all
Battlefield
companies
4
using
will
it
be
now,
running on
so-
the here it is, the Frostbite 3 engine, and it will also be playing at 60 frames per second. So all you three
Yes,
with PCs will be like,
eventually.
oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we do that anyway.
But I think they'll still implement better things on PC though, because they reckon this time round with Xbox One they can play up to 64 players this time round.
Yeah.
Now on Xbox this time, because obviously
Yeah.
Battlefield 3 currently has it on the PC, but not the Xbox. So now they reckon with what they've done this time round, they can actually provide it 64 players in a Battlefield.
I got something that is going to be
Because
one thing of
the
the next gen
amount of what they
consoles which I'll be
stated.
happy about will be the 60 frame or the higher frame rate at least. Anyway, that's something I'm
Yeah.
going to be very happy about. Again, I didn't really notice that before I went into PC gaming, but then when you start seeing it, it's like it's struggling to go back to a PlayStation 3 or an Xbox 360 and play on those sort of settings. And never used to notice it until I started going into PC gaming. So the next bit, moving on. Again, I didn't really see much of this, but Titanfall.
Oh, that looked cool.
All I
Made by the Call of Duty 4
Titanfall.
developers.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's Infinity Wards and that. Yeah.
So it looked like
But from what I saw,
mechs and more
it does
mechs.
actually look quite good.
Uh,
Basically, yeah.
And jetpacks.
Jetpacks as well.
Again, another
is it-
Xbox One exclusive, becoming spring 2014.
I don't mean to be funny, but if you saw the gameplay trailers, it looks like Call of Duty, but with mechs and jetpacks.
Basically,
it
yeah.
looks like it uses a very similar engine, if not the same, or slightly modified version.
I think if it's the publisher's EA, then any company that uses EA will just use the Frostbite 3 engine.
Yeah.
Because it's EA's engine, so they'll just turn around and say to you, right, you're creating this game, right, Frostbite 3 engine, there you go, use it. They'll just give it Frostbite 3 engine and away you go.
But
That's all they'll do.
actually, when I said it was exclusive to the Xbox One, actually that's not entirely correct. It's actually coming out on the PC as well.
It isn't. Yes.
Coming out on the PC as
well. Instead of doing it an Xbox One exclusive, it's kind of like saying it's a Microsoft exclusive instead.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, it's
Coming to
console
PC
exclusive.
and Xbox.
The
It's
next one,
Microsoft exclusive,
admittedly,
not
this bit
console.
I've tried playing Halo. I've had a go. I cannot get into it. I do struggle, and I know everybody loves Halo, but I can't do it. It's one thing, so I'm really out of it when it comes to this. So it's going to be the next installment in the series from 343 Studios.
Halo 5.
All I know, it's got Master Chief in it. Do you guys want to add anything to that? It looks pretty and will be
It's
60
about all
frames per
anyone
second
knows.
as well.
They didn't really show. For what I can remember, they didn't really show much of the trailer. All I can remember is basically Master Chief in basically like rugged, whatever it was he's wearing, walking through a desert, and then it just gets taken off him. And you just see him there. It's like that was it. That's all I can remember.
Obi Chief
So
Kenobi.
I don't know.
It'll be Chief Kenobi in his
Yeah,
robes.
pretty much.
Oh,
That's pretty
dear.
much a description of it.
So I didn't
but
actually,
other
again, I
than
didn't
that,
see the
that's all
trailer
kind
for
of
this.
showed.
I kind of skipped past this because it just doesn't interest me at all. So was it cinematic
Yeah.
or was it gameplay?
No gameplay
Cinematic.
at all.
No gameplay at all.
Cinematic.
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 And I'm going to take a
trailer,
wild guess and
as
say
most
this
of
is
them are.
Xbox exclusive.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. I got that right at least. Anyway.
Halo's always near enough been.
One of the other ones which it again confused me a little bit. I still don't know what this game's about really. It's Quantum Break. They showed a cinematic trailer off.
All I can don't know much about that.
I missed that as well.
Kind of like time. It's kind of like time traveling.
Yeah,
So,
like breaks
yeah,
in time or
That's
something.
it was basically like a failed science experiment, as far as I can remember from the synopsis from it. It was basically a failed science experiment, which he then continued and managed to make himself able to travel back in time. But that wasn't their purpose of the experiment, but it was a failed one. Then he found out he had the ability of time traveling, in which then he has to he's able to like use the abilities to like help save his family or something.
Yeah.
I wonder if it'll turn out anything like Time Shift.
Time Shift. I didn't actually play Time Shift.
I don't think it'd be like Time Shift. I think it'd be a bit different than Time Shift, because Time Shift was just awful.
Was the Time Shift again the
similar
first-person
principle.
shooter when if you went wrong you could go back in time? Or do different things
Something
like
like
that?
that. I'm not too sure, because
I
they
never
didn't
really played it.
didn't really say much.
You could alter time, like slow it down, speed it up. I think.
Yeah.
Again, it seems to be another one which I don't really know a huge amount about. They didn't seem to explain a huge amount in the actual conference. It was just kind of, here's another cinematic. Yeah. Anyway, it's from Remedy Entertainment. That's about it.
New
Basically,
game developers.
Also in the conference, they covered the pricing for the Xbox One. And they're going at £429. £430, yeah. 430, yeah, and then €499 and €499 US as well. Well, before we get into the Sony section of it all, but I got something when I did hear this. This was a bit of a
It's a bit steep this time round.
big steer. Admittedly, the PlayStation 3 did get released at, was it £500 originally? Something like that.
Originally, yes, but they dropped the price very quickly though.
Yeah, I don't know
They dropped
anyone
that
that
price
bought it at
very
450 when it first came out.
Anyway,
Anyway, we'll probably skip over that.
Is the online going to be costing for Xbox One as well?
Yes, it will be.
As
The
As far
Xbox
as
Live
I'm
will
aware,
still
it currently
be up.
is.
It'll still be up.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, one
But-
more thing I forgot to actually mention. World of Tanks is coming to the Xbox One.
Yes,
as well.
it is.
Is it Xbox 360 and
Wait,
Xbox One? I
I've
think.
never. I haven't played it, but what I've seen of it, I'm not fond of it. But I think Tom, you've played it, haven't you?
Yeah, I played it a bit on PC. It's
Free to play, right?
it's interesting. Yeah, it's free to play. It's just basically like a tank sort of deathmatch kind of thing. Team deathmatch.
I got something. When I first heard about this, because it being a
varieties.
free-to-play game coming out on the Xbox, it confused me a little bit because I thought to play online you have to have the gold membership,
Yes.
which technically wouldn't make the free-to-play
but
free.
Right. See, since we're getting into online, I'm going to mention this now because I, as we've been talking, I've been looking on Twitter, and some of like IGN and GameSpot and even Microsoft, they've actually linked up. Microsoft are actually changing their online policies now. They are going to be removing DRM from the Xbox One, so you will now be able to play offline. They have confirmed it that basically Microsoft removes online DRM from Xbox One, and then basically saying an internet connection will not be required to play offline games on the Xbox One.
However,
After
will you?
one-time system
Sorry,
setup
Karen. Sorry, Karen.
and it says you can play any disc-based game without ever connecting online, and then there is no 24-hour connection requirement either now for your Xbox One.
What I was about to ask, because they
And
originally
at
did
the
say.
What about?
Sorry.
Yeah,
I was going to say, what about the webcam and audio?
With the
Because I think if they get rid of
being
that
on.
requirement to have the webcam and
Well,
if they get rid of that,
Yeah.
then they're back on. I think because I think PS3
Yeah.
PS4 had outshined Xbox One in almost every single department.
In the actual conference, they actually made, I think it was bad wording, because they didn't actually say, they said that the Kinect will always be on. I think everybody interpreted that as being that the camera and the microphone will be on, which technically the microphone will be on, but it'll only be listening out for certain commands. Now, I think basically it won't be on all the time. It is on, but it's on standby. Now, I think it was just basically bad marketing by Microsoft and saying totally the wrong things, meaning that something else. But everybody interpreted it as that, yes, we will be watching you at all times. Don't do anything too kinky, otherwise we will report it. But
I think Xbox One's back on then, like, because I was thinking before that nobody's going to buy an Xbox One in their right mind if they can. If all these requirements are needed and all these privacy things,
they could be breaking some sort of law. They must be breaking some sort of law if it was always going to be live.
Yeah, that's why they kind of listen to their audience, because that's why they've removed the DRM from it, so you don't have to be online constantly. And also they've made it. They said they were going to region lock it, but they've taken that restriction off as well now.
Mm-hmm.
And to what I've also heard, I don't know if this is actually true or not, is with the way they've decided, say, you buy a game, you can't resell, trade, or use it on any other Xbox. But what they've done now is, I don't know if they're actually going ahead with it. You buy a game, you can play it, and you can give it to one other person, and that person can play, but you can't play that same disc. So
but also they added that you will not be able
give it to a friend.
Once you give that game to a friend, you will not be able to. Yeah. That's locked to them. They cannot do anything with it. They can't send it back to you.
So you can resell it. Yeah. You can resell it.
There's an exception to that. There's a family type thing where you can hand it between your family, like several members.
Yeah, which they mentioned as well with an interview with Angry Joe. He did an interview with head of Microsoft with the Xbox One, and they mentioned about the family pack.
Yeah.
So if you
that's not a bad idea.
Find Angry Joe's interview on that, then that explains quite a bit of what Microsoft are trying to do now.
Yes, that's not bad. If this like it saves you having to if you wanted amongst your family, that's fair enough. Yeah, it's just that you can't resell it though. You can't resell it. You can share it with one friend, and it is now then locked to that one friend, and they can't give it back to you, and they can't pass it on to anybody else.
But surely that allows like a one-time resale thing as well, where you could trade your game once.
I doubt you'd be able to trade it. They're trying to get away from that. Because as Tom said, they're bringing in the family pack, which you obviously share between family, but people kind of get around that. Because currently, at the moment, Microsoft do the Xbox Live Family Gold membership, which is for gold memberships, full years, for £70 a year. So I did that. Me, Tom, our friend John, and my dad. We did that for £70, and we all get gold for a year. And we've done that once.
Better value for money.
If you can do that again with the Xbox One, you can just do it instead of doing family. Just get 3 other friends, and away you go. You've all got a game to play.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, because obviously they're now starting to backtrack a little bit themselves with this 24-hour thing, because that was one thing that really did sort of shock me, was that you have to verify every 24 hours on your Xbox to be able to play single-player games, which are actually not even related to multiplayer. That is one thing that did sort of concern me, and something that maybe they're shooting themselves in the foot a little bit. And that did seem to be a bit... So they removed that now. Right, okay. Because it'd be obviously clearly the backtracking big style.
They've removed DRM.
It seems to be the best option. They needed to do it.
Connection will not be. Yeah, an internet connection will not be required to play offline games. There is no 24-hour connection requirement, and you can take your Xbox One anywhere you want and play your games just like an Xbox 360. So there's no more 24-hour requirement. So.
Also, another thing that the actual Xbox One is only limited to 21 countries around the world at launch.
At first, yes, but they will be looking to, obviously, to more regions.
Yeah.
As well.
Admittedly, because originally it was going to be region locked as well. I know Poland weren't going to get it.
As of to state as well.
and obviously Poland.
As I've just stated as well with DRM, they've taken the restriction of region lockout as well.
I find out, like, for example, if you lived in Ireland and you couldn't actually, I don't think Ireland are getting it, but imagine if they weren't and you lived in Ireland, you couldn't import it from England over to there. But now, obviously, you can, so that makes it a lot easier. But
they've removed the restriction of region locks.
That pretty much covers the Microsoft conference. I have skipped quite a bit. There's a few. Go for it.
I'll just say it's a good time to even mention this now or after we've done Sony.
Which bit?
Just like stats about the Xbox and the PS4 together.
We'll do the Sony conference next, and then we'll do a little bit of a comparison.
I'll do the stats after Sony because then it'll be a better option than to do it.
Obviously, I skipped over The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, and there's a couple of other things like the Crimson Dragon, D4, which was announced, Sunset Overdrive, Killer Instinct.
The use of their smart glass and everything.
Yeah, there was a lot. To be honest, it was a good conference. It was. It wasn't a bad one at all. It wasn't a bad conference. It was just, I think everybody still had a bit of a bad taste in the mouth over the announcement of the Xbox One, and they were already with pitchforks and everything like that ready to have a go at Microsoft. So
basically,
they were it was an uphill battle for them, and they didn't do too bad. Until later in the day, when Sony decided to get on stage.
Yeah, pretty much.
So Sony.
Yeah.
Well, over here in the UK, it was started at 1 in the morning, I think, and it went on till about 4:30. Something stupid.
Which I didn't stay up for. I didn't stay up to watch.
I was
Sony.
a muggins and stayed up, unfortunately. But yeah, it was good. It was, again, I stayed up to the early hours, and the pace of the actual conference wasn't as good, I don't think, as Microsoft, but it was still a very good conference. It was also because I think them going second, you wanted to see what Sony was going to say, what their especially with their sharing with games situation was going to be, and that was going to be the main factor. Everybody was going to be waiting to see what they were going to say about it. But obviously, as Sony obviously don't want to forget about the PS3, they opened up with the PS3 and covered a few of the games and everything that was going to come out, such as they showed a trailer Beyond Two Souls, Puppeteer, as plus showed the Last of Us trailer, a couple of other things, Gran Turismo 6 trailer, Batman Arkham Origins trailer.
They actually showed that, did they?
Yeah.
They showed Gran Turismo 6.
Gran Turismo 6, yeah. I guess it would kind of to counter Forza 5 for the Microsoft conference, I guess.
Yeah, true.
But they're also announced that they're going to do a Grand Theft Auto 5 PS3 exclusive bundle as well, which will include a branded headset. Which I guess they're just. I guess in some ways they were just trying to get everything out of the way before they started talking about the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Plus, we went on a little bit about the Vita.
Sounds like another way.
Yeah.
Sounds like another way to grab your money.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I guess it's kind of that sort of like pre-orders and exclusives, where you're like, if you pre-order the was it the special edition version, you will get this, and this. I don't really ever bother with them personally, but and they went on to about the Vita. Apparently, more than 85 titles will be coming by the end of the year. It would include Batman Arkham Origins, Destiny of Spirits, Doki Doki Universe, Killzone Mercenaries, and Tearaway. Plus a few other things as well. They did talk a little bit about the Walking Dead 400 Days, which I am looking forward to. I love the first one, The Walking Dead. Not the one that they released, which was in conjunction with the TV series. That was terrible. That was a terrible game and should not be released. It was horrible. One of my friends bought it, and yeah, it was just literally, I think he had it for a day and just literally sold it on eBay. But yeah, so then finally, after about 20 minutes, half an hour, they cracked on with the PlayStation 4, and they actually showed the box.
The box.
This is what it looked like.
It's a mystery.
Tom, what do you think to the shape of the box?
It looks like an eraser, a rubber.
Yeah, it does a bit.
I can't comment because I didn't watch Sony's conference or anything, so I have no idea.
So it basically looks like
there from Tom.
a normal box, sliced in half, and sort of offset it. So yeah, it didn't look amazing, but it certainly didn't look terrible. Did that make any sense at all? But yeah, it were okay.
I thought it looked quite nice. had some aesthetic appeal to it, unlike the Xbox One, which seemed more like a just a rectangular box.
Yeah, it's that sort of situation where I think it'll grow on me. Admittedly, I loved the original PS3, even though it was huge. I liked it. I know it got a bit of a backlash, and they were like, "What is that?" I quite liked it. It looks like this one is sort of going back towards how the PlayStation 2 looked, a little bit. That similar sort of style.
A little, yeah.
So they went on to explain a little bit about the PlayStation Network. They basically covered a lot of things which Microsoft covered in their announcement conference back a few weeks ago, such as Netflix on about how Flickster will be coming to the PlayStation Network, how the existing PlayStation Plus subscription will carry over to the PlayStation 4. So there won't be a separate subscription to that, which I guess we sort of guessed, because if they did that, that'd be a bit stupid, really. But it'll also cover Vita as well, which is a good thing. So it'll all be one compact.
So they've kind of done what Microsoft have done then. Basically, you can carry your account over.
Yeah, it'll cover basically that. Obviously, the Vita handheld, the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. What else we got here? Blah, 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 blah. But yeah, they certainly went more down the indie route with the PlayStation 3 conference, where Microsoft sort of skipped over it. They showed at one point they actually brought on about 8 or 9 developers and showing off their indie games all at once, which I think was kind of cool. And I think it's certainly a route that all the gaming industry seems to be going. That a lot of consumers wanting to try these little games for cheap and actually getting a lot of content with them. But now that's something that certainly stood out to me. Plus, they showed off the new trailers of Killzone Shadowfall, which looks quite good. Which I got to admit, I'm not a big player of Killzone. But anybody else played Killzone?
Yeah, I've never played it before.
Have you played it?
No.
I've played it. I played Killzone a bit on PS3, but not much really.
I'll basically go through and
much about PS.
I'll point out again, a bit like we did with Microsoft Conference. I'll just point out a lot of the ones that seem to jump out at me. One of the things they did show is Kingdom Hearts 3 announcement. That's coming out on the PlayStation 4, which I know made a lot of people happy. I was half expecting with Disney now.
One of my mates plays it.
With Kingdom Hearts, yeah. I was half expecting with Disney now owning the franchise of Star Wars, that I was expecting maybe Darth Vader to pop up in it at some point, but I'm sure there's still plenty of time for that.
I think if they did something like that, I think it ruined Kingdom Hearts. To be fair, for what Kingdom Hearts is currently, it's a brilliant game.
I was expecting maybe a lightsaber, maybe just something along those lines.
They'll keep with the Keyblades.
Yeah, true. They showed up Watch Dogs gameplay footage, which looked really pretty. Looked really good, interesting. Looked like another open world in a city, sort of Grand Theft Auto-esque, but a bit more darker, and a lot of hacking and everything like that. It looked quite interesting. They actually showed some gameplay footage of Assassin's Creed 4, which went a little bit wrong while they were showing it.
Yeah,
it seemed to start freezing.
It crashed, didn't it?
Yeah, right at the end, they seemed to pull the plug.
Then it went in, then it froze.
Which...
But was it after about 5-10 minutes they managed to get it going again?
It didn't actually stop fully until right at the end. During certain points, it just seemed to freeze for about half a second and then get back going again. And it did it again. And at first, when I was watching it, I thought it might have just been the stream, but it seemed to happen again. And then every time it sort of started happening, about the 5th time, the audience started reacting to it, and then the guy who was playing it on stage started shaking his head. And then it suddenly just got plugged. They pulled the plug on it basically, and it just went off. So it looks like they were having maybe a couple of issues technically there, but I guess it's a live conference. Really, it surprised me that they don't actually pre-record gameplay footage and just pretend on stage to be playing them, because really that wouldn't be the safe option.
I don't think they'll get away with doing that, really.
Yeah, I kind of.
Yeah, because then you'd get you get all sorts of trouble with that, like when singers do that, when singers mime and then they get found out.
there's a lot
Well, hell
riding on
breaks
these
loose.
conferences. You think that screw it, I might as well just.
Yeah, but if doing a live conference, you can't expect everything to go right, really. But you'd expect them to make sure everything was working fully before they
true.
actually went on stage, obviously.
So
Sony kind of made
is,
a slight error there.
Yeah. Go on, Tom.
It was me. I was going to
Oh,
say.
sorry.
Thing is with Assassin's Creed, every single time they bring out a new one, they seem to change like a little bit. Like it's pretty much the same thing, but with a little bit added. And this time, I just don't feel like they've added enough to sort of like
Warren,
lure me in
get
with
another
it.
one.
And and the story sort of ended in Assassin's Creed 3 anyway. So
See,
don't
I
really know where they're
played
gonna
about
go with
half
it.
of Assassin's Creed 3 and it really lost me. I was done. I think I like the concept
Well, I mean,
of it.
Yeah. Like, I hope this isn't like any spoilers or anything, but like at the end, I was like, oh well, that's
Hold on, we'll
Assassin's
put it
Creed
in.
done then.
Big
Like
spoiler
that.
alert! Big spoiler alert! James is
Yeah.
about to explain Assassin's Creed 3. Go.
No, I wasn't gonna. No, I was just gonna say that.
But
Just,
still, you can.
it all
yeah,
seemed
if
to
it's
come
about
to
you,
a
so don't be
nice
spoiler.
neat finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always seems to come to a nice neat finish, and then apparently they're starting with a whole new character. So I don't know. It
Not
just
entirely sure how they're
didn't
going to write
seem
this in.
compelling enough for me.
I
Yeah.
think, to be honest, they should just
Exactly,
that's it now. They should just end it. A bit like we're done with Dead Space. The last one wasn't overly brilliant. But apparently they are actually going to make another Dead Space, aren't they? I might have seen a tweet somewhere. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, I'm sure
but-
they mentioned that, didn't they?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was like, actually, no, I'm
not
wrong
sure
on that.
when release.
But yeah, so they showed off Assassin's Creed 4. Didn't work right well. But hey ho, it's Assassin's Creed, it'll sell. A bit like FIFA and all the rest of them.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls Online
EA
is coming
EA
to
Sports have done a big thing
consoles.
this time.
That's a one what really pulled me for I got a bit excited. So obviously we know the Elder Scrolls were going to come out on the PC, obviously. But I had
Yes.
no idea this was going to come to the consoles. Are you guys interested in the Elder Scrolls Online?
Elder Scrolls Online.
Mhm.
Was that the Elder Scrolls Online?
Yeah.
Is it?
Elder Scrolls
Yeah.
Online.
When I first heard about that, I've signed up to beta. So obviously,
Yeah, me
then
too.
just wait and see if get beta invite then. But other than that, the only Elder Scrolls that I've played properly is Skyrim, because they actually changed the way that the game plays. But I played Morrowind, I didn't like it. Oblivion, I played not much of that, about 10 to 30 minutes, not much. Then Skyrim, I've probably put 60 plus hours in, but I just find Skyrim brilliant compared to other ones.
What would you say were like major difference between Skyrim and Oblivion though? Because they're quite open worldish and similar sort of idea.
Yeah,
but what pulled you towards Skyrim rather than Oblivion?
To be fair, I think only one thing that annoyed me with Oblivion and was obviously Skyrim with items. It works on like a weight limit.
Yeah.
So if you're carrying too much, you can't move. So you're just there standing still, like because you're carrying too much. And then with Skyrim, if you're carrying too much weight, you don't stop. You just like slowly walk.
Yeah.
So I think that like a major thing.
I got to
Because
admit,
if you're out
it's been a long
questing
time
and
since
you
I've
actually
played
get
Oblivion. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And I got to admit, Skyrim. I thought that was actually in Skyrim, that mechanic that you'd walk slowly. I can't honestly remember. But,
Yeah, in Skyrim you walk slowly, but in Oblivion you stop moving. And then
Oh, right,
also
right.
another one was the skills, how your skills work. Because it's more like a talent tree system instead of you just work your abilities up to like from 1 to 100. It's
Yeah.
more of a talent tree, so obviously you can you start off at low level, then as you progress more in say destruction or illusion, armor, you can like upgrade it more, like
I
a talent
know-
system, so you get increase your armor efficiency.
I know you,
everything.
Tom. You
Which
were
was a bit
very
better.
much a Skyrim fan. What were your opinions on this? Will you be trying out the Elder Scrolls Online? Sorry. Yeah, is Tom there?
Is he there?
I think he might have gone.
I think we've lost him.
No worries. But
I think we've lost him.
Jamie, did you try any of the Oblivion or Skyrim?
Never really appealed to me. I saw some trailers and stuff on YouTube and gameplay on YouTube when it first came out. See whether it'd be my cup of tea, and nah, not really my thing, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No worries, no worries. I got to admit,
Never
Skyrim
really appealed.
is certainly one of those games where it's an investment. It's not just a game. You invest in Skyrim because it's so huge. It's its own little world. I got to admit, it's one of those sort of games. It's just it's daunting to take on the task to be able to try and do Skyrim, but it's certainly worthwhile. The online, the Elder Scrolls Online, it's all I'm going to try and describe it is it's not Elder Scrolls as we know it. It's certainly going to be vast.
No.
It's certainly going to be very story driven and very lore based. However, it's not going to look like Skyrim. It's not going to look like Oblivion. It'll be interesting to see how it flows. But hearing that it's coming to the consoles,
Follow the same kind of.
does this sort of interest you?
Yeah, because as you mentioned the laws. Because you mentioned the laws. I think it'll follow the standard MMO laws. So if you take any MMO currently, it'll probably follow the kind of same laws as they do at the moment, with a few obviously tweaks to it.
Yeah. But with hearing that it's coming to consoles, does it
yeah.
surprise you in any way? Like if it coming to consoles?
Doing something like an MMO on a console, with what I think it may backfire, but I'm not too sure. So obviously, it's going to be like the first kind of like MMO, proper MMO to come to console. So obviously, you had the likes of what was it, Phantasy Star Universe, or was it?
I know DC
that was
Universe
an MMO
Online
which you had
is
to pay
still
additional.
doing reasonably okay on
Yeah.
the PlayStation 3. I know that for a fact. That seems to be doing all right.
Yeah.
But now that's a free-to-play game, so you can understand why people might want to jump in on that. At this present moment, we don't know if the Elder Scrolls Online is going to be a subscription or a free-to-play sort of system, but it's certainly something interesting to watch. Whether or not you're going to play it on the PC or the console, it's certainly something to keep an eye out for. But okay, quick question: console or PC then? Console or PC for you?
Elder Scrolls Online will definitely have to be PC for me, unfortunately. I don't think it'll do well on console at all.
Yeah, I got to. I'm very much unsure about this because I would prefer to play it on the PC, but I have got 3 or 4 friends who wouldn't touch it on the PC, but are interested having a go on the PlayStation 4. So
yeah,
I'm really on the fence about this at present moment. I'm gonna have to see what everybody's planning to do and sort of come to a decision about it. If it's free to play, I'll just play it on both. But if it's subscription based, whether or not your subscription sort of applies to both, I doubt it will. But if it does, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Well, again, it's sort of the wait and see sort of approach with this. So anyway, one of the last games that they showed off at the Sony conference was Destiny, which is made by
I've seen a trailer.
Bungie.
That looks brilliant.
Bungie, the makers of
That
Halo.
looks brilliant. That does.
Um,
For what I've seen of that, is that a Sony exclusive? Is it Destiny? I don't think it's
so.
a Sony exclusive.
No, I don't think it is. But I think this is the first
But
proper
what I saw
gameplay footage we've
that
seen.
looks-
This is the first game.
Yeah.
It
what I
does look
saw,
atmospheric.
That looks brilliant.
That's what I mean. When they announced
think
this
that's gonna
earlier in
do
the
pretty
year,
well.
I wasn't overly fussed. It didn't seem to sort of pull my attention when it first got announced, but seeing this gameplay footage has certainly
Welcome back,
piqued
Tom.
my attention. Hey, Tom.
So,
We're just on about Destiny.
Because at the moment, shall we just rewind for a moment and then get
Yeah, can
Tom's
do, yeah.
opinion with Elder Scrolls Online?
Yeah,
So
Tom.
we'll just go back.
Is he up again? No.
Once it gets started. Just rewind a bit back to Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
And since Tom's returned from a drink,
So, Tom,
it wasn't a drink.
Elder Scrolls Online, what's your opinion?
Awesome. It looks like Skyrim,
what do you think?
slightly better, but
Instead of
with
saying it's awesome.
it's got a first person and a third person viewpoint. Obviously, you're gonna have to limit the amount of abilities, spells, weapons per class because it's not your standard RPG anymore. It's an MMO.
It's
But-
because it
but
got
not
announced
really.
that it'll be coming on the consoles in the Sony conference. Obviously, I know what you're going to answer. Your answer is going to be if I say to you, would you get it on the console or the PC?
PC.
Yeah, I see. Are you surprised that it is going to come to the consoles?
Not really. They're doing that with everything these days.
Yeah,
I heard the main PvP area is going to be Cyrodiil, the province that was in Oblivion. So I can imagine the Imperial City is going to be like...
Is that it?
Yeah, the Eyelid Tower, yeah.
I can never
That's
remember the
gonna
name.
be the main PvP point.
But yeah, so that's good. It's becoming spring 2014. And I think the actual Elder Scrolls Online is actually on all aspects such as PC, Xbox One, and PS3 have all been pushed to spring now. The PC version. I think it was first said that it was going to maybe coming out on PC at the end of this year, but now they pushed it back. But yeah, so as I was on about the Destiny trailer, which was shown at the end of the Sony conference, it looks very pretty.
It does, yeah. It looks. It's might be the.
Oh,
Sorry, no. Yeah, it looks very good. I didn't actually see very much gameplay of it.
No, it seems to be almost going like a Borderlands sort of feel to it.
Yeah,
it's probably the best way to describe it. It's not Borderlands, obviously, but and it hasn't got the cheesiness of Borderlands, but it's certainly going along those lines, if you know what I mean. And everybody's yawning now. We are pushing on for quite a bit of time. I'm getting hungry as well.
I'm fine.
But yeah, so Destiny, it's piqued my interest. I know it's piqued a lot of my friends, like other people who I know. They are certainly interested. Have you got food? Oh, damn you.
He's got caramel slice.
When I made earlier, nom nom.
Tom's now torturing us with caramel slice.
Lovely. It certainly piqued the interest of a few people who haven't even heard of it. They were like, oh, what's this? What's this? And they are willing to, wanting to know a lot more about this as time goes along. But basically, what I would say the main aspect of the Sony conference was right at the end. Well, a bit before the Disney trailer, but near the end. Was when they started talking about what they're going to do with the second-hand games. And at this point, they pretty much turned to Microsoft, give them the finger, and said, "Yeah, we're not doing what they're doing. We're going to make it how it has always been."
Do? What? Yeah. So what did Sony do? We're going to create a video of how to share games. Here's a game. There you go.
Thanks.
Yeah, I saw that.
I love it. I think that's brilliant. I think it's the best thing that they could do is just do something like that.
It is.
Take the mick out of Microsoft a little bit.
Well,
it is, to be fair.
It's like also when they turned around and said about the 24-hour verifying situation, said, "Oh, we will not have that," and it's like, oh, brilliant. Even though obviously Microsoft apparently aren't going to be doing that now, but at the time I thought that was brilliant, and it's the loudest I think I've heard a crowd at E3 for a long while. They went nuts. It was like as if they were like a wrestling arena has suddenly appeared, and they were doing chants for Sony. I was expecting the big foam fingers to start coming out of the crowd and everything, but no, that was certainly highly entertaining for the conferences. But no, I was happy about that, and I think a lot of the exchange shops within the UK are going to be very, very happy about that because it shows that they can at least sell their games still.
Indeed.
But that pretty much wraps up the Sony conference. I'm trying to look over what I've missed a lot, I have to say. Talking about Diablo 3,
we've missed a lot from both sections, so...
Yeah, Diablo 3, we're getting exclusive items on the PlayStation. What else we got? We've talked about Watch Dogs. Mad Max announcement as well.
We could do a shorter, harder cut edition.
Yeah. Infamous Second Son, they showed a trailer for that. And a lot of others. A lot was covered, but it was a long conference as well. I got to admit, I was struggling.
They had the longest conference. They had the longest conference going, didn't they, Sony? To be fair.
I'd go into the other conference details as well, such as Ubisoft and EA, but I don't think we're gonna have time for all. I think one of the major announcements from the EA trailer, which I know Jamie's going to be very happy about, is the announcement of Battlefront.
Oh,
Star Wars Battlefront.
Star Wars Battlefront.
They announced that, did they?
Yep, they showed only a cinematic trailer, a bit of a teaser. But I know you like your Battlefront, Jamie.
A new Battlefront. Can't wait for a new Battlefront.
It obviously didn't show much, but
I've seen some like I've seen some gameplay before from that look like a dice engine. What do you call it?
The Frostbite.
Frostbite.
Frostbite engine.
Frostbite, I think it was. Yeah, it's like a bit of a leaked video from that, and from very early stage, but still really good. And yeah, very excited for that.
It does look good. I just want to point out it's made on the
excited.
Frostbite engine, and they showed the trailer of Hoth.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
they did.
okay, that's not funny. Anyway, so basically, do a quick sum up. Who won, Xbox or PlayStation?
Right. I, if you're mentioning that now, I've actually got a stats things from GameSpot,
All right.
GameSpot UK. It's like battle of the next gen. So let the Twitter fight begin. So basically, you've got obviously PS4 and Xbox One. So who's winning across the world? We have 80% PS4. We have 20% Xbox One.
What percentage does Wii U get?
Don't know about Wii U.
Forget about the
Wii
Wii.
U's already out. Nintendo have already released that. They're ahead of us all. But
That's where everyone was at. Yeah.
your top countries, you're looking at like Saudi Arabia, United States, UK, France, Russia, United Arab Emirates, Germany, Canada, Japan, Spain, your top 10 countries, and all of them are pretty much all going for the PS4, which, except for Saudi Arabia, which is like 50-50. All others are like 75 plus. Even the United States, 88% on PS4 to 12% on the Xbox One.
And personally, I'm going to be saying that this isn't down to really what games are be coming out. I'm putting this down due to the sharing situation that they were talking about.
Yes.
It's got
Yeah.
to be, because in
In
all
fact-
honesty, Xbox doesn't look bad. It's the lineup's not bad at all, but it's
But what they've done,
Yeah, the only
pretty
thing.
good.
Yeah, I don't know. If it weren't for all the sharing things and the other thing, obviously the other thing's been cancelled now. The other things are drawing people away from it, but I would have gone for Xbox One if it weren't for all those things. I
it certainly
think,
put you off.
'cause
Then you're
Well,
saying.
like I
spec
said,
looks pretty much.
but
Yeah,
they have
yeah,
removed
exactly,
DRM and all
But-
that, so they are removing certain policies as time comes.
they are
The
listening
price
to
tag as
Lisa,
well
yeah.
is certainly going to be a factor. Like it's
Yeah,
oh, sorry, I didn't actually talk about
exactly.
the pricing of the Sony. It's going to
Sony
be
is 350 in it.
blah, blah, blah. I'll just quickly look up.
£350.
I can't find it now. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, the announcement they're going to be a £350, which is £75 to £80 difference here, which is
Sorry.
adapted. Okay, in retrospect, it's not a huge amount of money, but when you're already paying that amount, it's a lot. Or you've got something to compare it up against. You go, well, look at a family, right? A mum and dad are going to buy their kid a console. Are the two which look very similar to them, very similar setups? They're going to offer exactly the same things. Which one are they going to go for? They're going to go for the cheaper one. So, and I think that's...
And the kid's probably going to want to get the PlayStation as well over the Xbox, because if they've done any research on it whatsoever, they know that the Xbox has got all these features that just make it not particularly user-friendly. And well, user-friendly isn't the right word, but you know what I mean.
Microsoft done this. Well, the big difference, what Microsoft have done, they haven't created a gaming console. They've created an entertainment console.
Yeah.
It's more
Yeah,
entertainment,
which could have
not
worked.
gaming, what they've done this time round.
I think that could have worked, but they just went about it the wrong way. I think that could have been,
Yes.
could have been a winner, really, to be honest. Like, if they incorporated everything the way they did. And
I think it
put all in
sounds
the
like
same
their
place
marketing
in the
team needs to
Xbox,
really
but-
look back and sort of analyse what they've said. Because, again, I don't think like you say, like I think it could work, but the way they've been presenting it and the way they've been talking about it has not been the best way. They've almost, like, people have been interpreting what they're saying in the wrong way, and they're almost trying to backtrack themselves a little bit and say, oh, we didn't mean that. But if you were a marketing team, paid the amount of money they're probably being paid, they should be getting it right. 'Cause,
First time, every time.
yeah, exactly. This is a big moment. E3 is one of their biggest situations of the year that they're going to want to get out and put down. And Sony have literally just jumped to every point of where Microsoft have gone wrong. They have literally pulled them up on it, and due to that, Sony seem to have come out on top. Whether or not that actually does pan out over the next tool release, we'll have to see. But it's certainly a situation that Microsoft really need to look at this and figure out like where have we gone wrong. And it sounds like they're trying to do that now with the DRM situation. But it's certainly put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths.
The only thing is, what I've noticed is Microsoft are at least trying to do something different with making an entertainment system, rather than just a game, something for playing games on. But what, other than just increasing the specs a bit, what have PS3 or PS4 actually done? Sony, I should say.
That's a good point.
What have they actually done? Have they done anything that's been I wouldn't say the stuff Microsoft done was revolutionary, but I mean.
Well, you got to admit, the Kinect is still a pretty
a
cool, interesting piece of tech.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. So, you could say revolutionary, I guess, but I mean, at least they're trying new things rather than just increasing the spec on it, I guess.
No, that's a good point.
It nearly worked, but not quite.
Again,
I think the extra 80 quid. Yeah, I think the extra 80 quid, if everything had gone right, with the games that they've got on offer, and the entertainment system built into it all, I think that extra 80 quid would have been well worth it. But I don't think they went about it in the right way.
Then again, thinking back to when the Kinect isn't it about like when it originally was about £100 anyway, just for the Kinect?
Yeah,
like
about 100,
true. Yeah,
released about 150 quid.
And every
release.
Kinect is actually included in the Xbox One bundle box, everything like that. So
Yeah,
I guess you're paying £80, you could say, for the Kinect. I guess so. You get that with it. So in that retrospect,
but I don't think it's just.
Karen, sorry, Jim.
I don't know. I was gonna say, like with the game sharing thing, it just sort of it makes it from a really an actually not bad deal at all for a really good entertainment system and all Kinect and everything like that, just to something that isn't very desirable whatsoever, really.
I think
I don't
that
think,
seems to be
especially when you got a cheaper version
major factor
right next to it.
It seems to be the major factor is the sharing. That seems to be what everybody seems to. But then again, I'm thinking like I know a family who they have 2 kids and they don't have a lot of money. They get by, and the kids love to do gaming. And their dad used to always look and go through their old games and work out and say, "Listen, do you play this anymore? Do you play this anymore? Do you play this anymore?" And then they'd go, "No, we don't play those anymore." And he used to get them together, take them to the local game shop, and trade them in, and then get them like another birthday present, sort of thing, or get money knocked off on the next game for the birthday present. Now, I can understand why if a guy who's a dad or a mum or a dad, whoever who is locked into knowing about what these consoles are going to offer, they're automatically going to go for the PlayStation 4 because money's a bit of a factor, money's a bit of a problem. Like for myself, I'll be going for PlayStation 4. I am a PlayStation fanboy, but it's certainly if it'd been, let's say we flipped the coin over, Sony had done what Microsoft had done, and Microsoft had done they haven't changed the sharing, they were going to do trade-ins, I would seriously consider getting an Xbox One because it sounds like it's more value for money.
I'm an Xbox person through and through, but I mean they've just not ticked any boxes really.
I think it's going to be a case of waiting. I think we seem to all be on.
If I do get a new console, it will be Sony. Yeah.
Well,
even for me, let's say I'm Xbox. I say as Jamie through and through, but I won't switch to PS4. Just something about it I just don't like with Sony.
There's no way.
I've got Sony phone. I don't mind the phones. Just console. I have no idea why. I'm just not into PS. I've never been into PS3.
How about you, Tom?
PS4,
what do you think? Tom, what do you think? Are you going to be Sony or Xbox at this present moment?
PC.
Screw you. Anyway, we'll get
not on about PC, Tom.
We'll move on from E3. That's enough E3
Xbox
talk.
One or PS4.
There's been a lot of information coming from E3 this last week, and I think the internet's still full of it. Hopefully, I've now launched the Alwayz Gamez TV website. It's going to be a lot easier trying to get information up and not be, let's say, drowning in it. Hopefully it'll come through a little bit more steadily. But we'll quickly run through the top 10 charts. At number 10 is Assassin's Creed 3. Number 9, Luigi's Mansion 2. Number 8, Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim Legendary Edition. Number 7, Far Cry 3. Number 6, Injustice: Gods Among Us. Number 5, FIFA 13. Number 4, Tomb Raider. 3, Grid 2. And new in at number 2. New in at number 2 is Animal Crossing: New Leaf. And brand new in at number 1 is The Last of Us. I'm just looking at what's coming up this next month, actually, and there's not a lot. Oh, and actually, Tom, you'll be happy about it. Company of Heroes 2 will be coming out. Have you been able to bash on the beta on Steam? Can you hear us?
I'm losing connection.
You're losing connection. I think that's probably a good point to end it.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to play the beta.
You didn't have a chance to play the beta.
The Alpha 3 beta the Alpha 3 beta as well.
Presently on, yeah.
No, that was 25th of June. Go for that.
25th of June. That's correct. So I think that will wrap it up for that one, and hopefully we'll come back in 2 weeks' time with another overview with how Microsoft is quickly backtracking and saying no, it will not always be online, and
hopefully
we will not always be watching you, Jamie.
Within the next 2 weeks, I don't think they'll change much. I think if we're looking out for Microsoft for change of policies, we'll have to look over the next couple of months. I reckon by about September-ish, I reckon they'll change many policies.
Yeah, they definitely need to wrap
They need to. They really need to.
They need to look at their policies big time.
Thanks for joining me, guys, on the podcast. Jamie, thank you very much. Dan, you are on Twitter, are you not?
I am indeed.
You're on Twitter. Do you want to give us your Twitter account?
Yeah.
You know people to follow you?
Alright, you can follow. Right, if you want to follow me at Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter at DanielT320.
Yeah, and do you have a Twitch account?
Twitch account, you can follow me as well. You can either search for my name, which is also DanielT320, or you can search for my gamer name, which is Rekia.
Sorry, Jamie, I actually totally skipped over you, even though I said bye to you there. Do you want to put your Twitter name up?
It's at Jamie Shitehouse.
Always a good one. Tom, how about yourself?
Yeah.
How can we follow you?
I do have a Twitter account. I just don't remember it at the moment.
You don't tweet much.
Up, I think.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
No.
And you can follow Alwayz Gamez TV at Alwayz Gamez TV, and always check out our website at alwayzgamestv.com. And hopefully we'll see you in 2 weeks' time with another podcast, which may not be as long as this one, because there probably won't be as much news to talk about. All right, thank you very much, guys. We'll tune in next time. See ya.
Yep, thank you very much. See ya.
Bye.
There we go.
Alwayz Gamez TV.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That was pretty cool, actually. I'll give you that one.